All right. Here we are with Digging History, sitting here at my dining room table. And you can see behind me I've got a treasure collection back here. I got to go through that. Lots of bullets. Let me just peek over there. Those are all bullets in there. That little popcorn bin, all them little black, they're all full of bullets. All those little red solo cups or whatever they are. You know, they made a song about this thing, these little red solo cups. Well, anyways, we drank water and juice out of them. So, went out today in Mason County. I posted a picture. I want to show you kind of the difference. I'm going to poke the camera down. I want to show you on the left side over here, on my left, which should be your right. Okay, this is a Virginia battlefield hunt. As you can see, a lot of 3-ring bullets fired. I spent about 8 to 10 hours collecting these things. Now this, you may not know what this is, but I just learned what this is. This is actually a weight that goes in a woman's dress, and that was kind of cool. And then I was like, well, what is this thing? Well, turns out this is the bottom of a parasail, you know, an umbrella that ladies used to carry, and I found it near the Civil War battlefield. So, the bottom part of a shell, don't know what kind of shell it is. It's just too far gone. It's just a bunch of bullets. But then over here on the right, okay, now this is kind of an average of what I find in a day, and this has been back and forth today. For about 4 hours total. A lot of junk. I wanted to get all of the junk here so you could see. So some of the things I'm finding, obviously, a whole bunch of pull tabs, a lot of these mason jar lids. Remember what I told you about the mason jar lids? I get real excited when I find these because I found 2 of these full of money. Okay, unfortunately, I just found the lids, but I carried them out of there. So again, what I do with these is I recycle them. So I put them down here in my little 5-gallon bucket, and there it is. Found this, so obviously I was onto a house site. This is an older sink drain. So I'm guessing this is probably from the 30s or the 40s. And again, it's junk, but I carry it out of there, and I just want to do that. A lot of shotgun shells, the caps for shotgun shells. You know, you see these right here. Those really ring up nice. You think you're finding a coin, and then you dig one of those up, and it's like, you know. I actually found a piece of a boot. Isn't that interesting? When you find something still leather that's still around. So this is probably at least 75 years old, maybe older. And again, I just bring it in. Again, some of this metal that I find, I call these land earth turds, okay? Because you really don't know what they are. They're probably nails and bolts and screws and stuff like that, but they're iron. This is a nice spike, an old spike. This is probably older than the state of West Virginia, to be honest with you. Pretty interesting stuff. Actually, I got a signal under a rock, and I started digging. I was like, wow, there's got to be something nice. Well, this is what I found under that rock. It was about 12 inches deep underneath of a big old flat river rock. Hinge. Normally you find these at house sites. Found this there today. Cool find. Again, there's a square nail that's inside of it still, so that's interesting to find that. So you know there was a door there attached to it. Again, more nails. Unidentifiable things. And the pull tabs. I mean, these come out, you think you're going to find a coin with these things. It's kind of like the shotgun shells. Again, they're aluminum. I take them out, put them in the recycle bucket. If anybody recycles and you want this, let me know. You can come to the house and pick it up. I know some people that do primitives and things like that. You can take a lot of this stuff and use it in your primitive art. And I'd be happy to give it to you. Again, nails. metal. Typical things that you find out there, okay? So this is aluminum. I got real excited. It looked like it was a rivet out of a Civil War backpack, but it's aluminum. And I found a bunch of these. I have no idea what these are. So if anybody knows what these are, they were all stacked up together. You know, it looks like, God, there was just a bunch of them. At first, it looks like the bottom of a magazine, you know, that you load ammunition in. But the more I look at it, the more I think, nah, this is something like clips. So, don't know. This actually, I think, came out of a shoe. So I think this came out of a woman's shoe, a woman's high heel shoe. That's what I think this came out of. Not sure, but I pulled it out of there. Then I found this large chunk of lead. Now, as I look at this, I'm thinking maybe this was part of a toilet or a sink, okay? And because they had lead pipes back in the 20s and the 30s. So, you know, that's a big chunk of lead. I'll hang on to that because people will want lead. And then glass. Listen, I found tons and tons of glass. I found some of this, you know, like an old mason jar. Found a lot of pottery. These right here obviously came out of the top of an old mason jar lid. And again, it's cool stuff to find. I take it out of there so I don't find it again. And eventually when I go into areas and I hit them enough and I get the junk out of there, then I can really start honing in and focusing on the good stuff. And there is good stuff that's still out there. Okay? So let's get this camera put up here just a little bit. All right. And I got a little bit of a... I don't know what happened there. Huh. There we go. It started getting dark there. So this, unsure of, again, a piece of metal. Found a large piece of copper cable. I remember a time when people were getting electrocuted stealing copper, okay? You don't have to steal this copper if you want it. There's a whole, you got to take the whole bucket. You got to bring your own bucket, okay? But you can have everything in this. Okay, so let's focus on some of the cool things that I found. First, I want to just talk about this marble right here. So this marble popped up out of the ground when I was finding a couple of coins, which I'll show you later. And I made a video about the coins earlier today. So there, let me see if I get this thing up, folks. I know it's like a pain. And, okay, there we go. So this marble, I like marbles, and I collect these things. And so if I find them, I put them, I've got a jar in there that's got marbles in it. And I found some really cool, I've got a real big marble in there, and I'll have to do a video and show you some of that stuff. So that's my marble, and somebody lost their marbles out there, and I found them. Part of a clock. So this is the inner workings of a clock. So as you can see, you know, this is probably, you know, an old clock that's set on the mantle of one of the cabins that was out there, and the way that they kept time. I think it was an alarm clock because it's got this little device down here, and I think that some of my jewelers and watchmaker buddies would probably be able to identify that. I'll have that if you want that as well. So then I ran onto this thing, and I have no idea what it is, but if you look at it, you can see that there's like real pretty leaves on it and stuff like that. Not sure what it is. No clue what it is. But it was actually bent, you know, like this when I found it. And so I straightened it out a little bit, and I'll put that down in there as well. Found another piece of brass. So I found a lot of this little pieces of brass like this. So rings up really nice, high 70s and 80s. I mean, it rings up like a silver dollar. So you got to dig these things. So I found this little silver buckle. And so I know it's silver because there's no rust on it. And where I found it at was in an area that was near a house site. So this is some sort of a little silver buckle, maybe a watch band, maybe off of a shoe. I'm not sure, but it's in really good shape. So it's a cool find. Well, I was digging and I found the not the button, the marble. I found this button. So this is a ceramic button, very old, probably from the early 1900s. And those are always really cool to find. They're beautiful buttons, and you know, this is over 100 years old. So to be able to have something like that is really cool. Found a modern bullet. So as I started to look at it, I realized it's one of those old wad cutter bullets. Into there it goes. I found some other older bullets as well. So I found some. Now this is a modern bullet, as you can see. But I did find some small pistol or small rifle balls out there. This is most likely a 36 caliber pistol round, and this could be a 44. And it could have been fired from a rifle or a pistol. There was some Civil War activity in the area, so it's very possible early war items. More lead. I found tons of lead out there, but I'm not going to show it all to you. I just found a bunch of it. So lead balls, another piece of lead, and this little itty bitty 22 bullet. So if you can imagine, you know, digging up something this small. But I did, and I'll put my lead over here. Found some harmonica reeds out there. So this is the inner workings of a harmonica. And when you find these around a lot of Civil War camps or old campsites, you know, where people hang out. And I have found a lot of harmonica reeds around this area. So that's really, really cool. Found this little eyelet. It rung up at about a 50, 55. And it was a screaming little thing, but it was just tiny, itty bitty, probably off of a shoe. I think it's aluminum, so I don't think it's that old. Found a spoon that not super old, not silver, but right next to it I found the knife. So somebody was sitting there eating dinner one time, and they dropped their spoon and their knife. You can tell all kinds of stories. Dug this little device for running knob and tube electricity into older homes. So this is, you know, 1920s, 1930s vintage. And a cool find. Now, I found another suspender clip out there. So I'm going to, after a few rains out there, and I really raked up a bunch of leaves, I think I'm going to find some cool things yet to come. But the big finds today. So as I'm out there digging, I told you, I said, I think I found a wheat penny. Well, as I cleaned this thing up, I realized it's not a wheat penny. It is and you can't see it. I'll apologize for that already, because there's just not enough light in here. But, oh, there you go. Indian head penny. 1888 is the date on that. Indian head penny, 1888. You don't find those every day. And you darn sure can't find them sitting on the couch and watching YouTube. I want you to watch my YouTube channel and subscribe and like, but then get motivated, get off the couch, and go find something. And then make a video about it and show it to me and say, man, James, look what I found. Indian head penny, cool find. But right next to the Indian head penny, first thing it is, I popped this out of the ground. You're looking at it here. And hold on a second. There we go. Let me get it turned around. Okay, where it says 1 dime. Oh, got it upside down. There we go. 1 dime. Okay. I thought, a barber dime. Cool find. Then I flip it around and I look and I'm like, no, it's not a barber dime. It's a 1875 seated Liberty dime. And those are very rare to find. I'm sorry, 1876. My bad. So, this is 100 years after the signing of the Declaration of Independence. So, in 1876, when they were minting this, we were celebrating our 100-year anniversary as being a country. Isn't that cool? So, in 1876, think about some of the things that were going on in 1876. And, you know, somebody carried this. So, it's a little older. I'd say they probably dropped it well after 1876. But the fact is, somebody dropped this in the middle of the woods, and I found it. So, those are my cool finds for the day. I am going to reach out now to you teachers that are out there. Okay, now listen to me. Listen to me. So, I know some of you all teach history classes. Look, if you want a couple of these Civil War bullets, I will give you the backstory on these bullets and let you have a couple of these so you can take into your classroom and teach kids history. So give them a chance to not only read about it, but get a chance to touch some things from history. How cool would that be? So, you know, if you're a teacher out there and you're wanting to teach Civil War history and you want to talk about the, you know, the 54 or the 57 or the 69 caliber bullets that I have here, I'll be happy to give you a couple of those. Libraries that are out there. I really want to stress that when we find things in your area, we can give you some of these items as well, because we'd really like to see the libraries put these on display. You know, found locally. You know, with Digging History. You don't even have to put my name on it. It doesn't matter to me. What matters is that we are living history. And you're able to see these things. Same thing with some of these other artifacts I find. You know, you could teach a class on this right here. If you're teaching a class on the history of electricity or a sociology class, you can take an item like this, and this, you can have students identify these things. You know, there's a number on it. Go look at the number, type it up, see when these things were made. Go look for the patent on it. Really bring education into the classroom with items like this. You know, you can take a nail, or this that I was showing you about the weight that goes on a old 1800s dress. These weights were sewed in to keep the dress from blowing up on these ladies. You know, they were a lot more modest back in the day. And that's a history class all in itself. That's a sociology class. You know, that is a cool class on anything you can think of. The harmonica reeds. I've got plenty of those. Horseshoes. I've got it all. Just call me. Again, like us on Facebook. I'm sorry. Like on Facebook. This will be on my Facebook page. But swing over to the YouTube channel, which is Digging History with Gun Truck LT, and give me a like, give me a follow, and if you're interested in one of these bullets, teachers, you're a teacher, you're legitimately teaching, and you really want it. Now, don't just call me because you want a bullet, because I got plenty of bullets, but I will send you or give you a bullet. If you're out of state, or you're in another area, send me a self-addressed stamped envelope. This is probably going to be a couple bucks to mail this. Send that to me, and I'll pop it in a in one of those envelopes and send it back to you. You can mail me at James McCormick, and the address is P.O. Box 883, and that is in New Haven, Newhaven, West Virginia 25265. Again, that's James McCormick, Digging History, P.O. Box 883, New Haven, West Virginia 25265. If you want one of these bullets and you're a teacher, I don't care if you're in Montana, Timbuktu, or wherever, send me, a little self-addressed, get the postage on it, and I will put one in your envelope. Make sure that it's one of those envelopes that are a little bit thicker. You can go to the post office. I think it's like $3. Okay, send it to me, and I will be happy to send you a couple of these things. I've got all kinds of them, so don't worry about asking me for them. Other than that, it's about 20 minutes into this, and we're going to wrap it up. But God bless each and every one of you. Have a great day. Watch us on Digging History, and get out there and get to digging, folks. Go out there and find your own treasure. You can do it, and have a good time at it. God bless. Have a great day.